celebrations at Howard University continue this weekend with the homecoming parade.
Ain't no telling where I may see me in DC at Howard Homecoming with my man Kaboom.
Howard University, also known as the Mecca, is one of the most famous and prestigious historically black colleges and universities in the country. Based in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., Howard is known worldwide for the contributions to society its notable alumni have made over the ages. Yet, in hip-hop, one thing definitely stands out: Howard Homecoming. One of the most important times to be in D.C. is during this celebration, especially in the late 80s into the 90s, and even still to this day. But during my life as hip-hop and go-go music were on the rise, I would argue, and bet money that those were the best years of the HU homecomings. I mean, the streets were flooded with people from all over the country day and night. Howard homecomings have been celebrated for over 100 years now, but I don't think it will ever be nothing like the golden years. October in DC, back when the city was still Chocolate City, without a doubt. The city is dressed to impress. Homecoming weekend in the 80s and 90s wasn't just a party, it was a movement. It was a fashion show, a music video, a political statement, and a family reunion all rolled into one. The city wasn't waiting on Instagram likes, the proof was in the streets. Students, alumni, and people who didn't even go to Howard came just to be there. Everyone was fresh, dudes dressed in the latest fashion and gold chains, women with the latest hairstyles and bamboo earrings, DJs rocking out big speakers balanced on milk crates, live go-go bands might roll through, and if Rare Essence or Trouble Funk was on stage, forget it. The whole block would lose its mind.
Georgia Avenue is where people could be seen cruising, chilling, and profiling. It was all about hanging out, having a good time, and listening to music.
Georgia Avenue was the unofficial parade route. From early Friday afternoon until Sunday night, cars crawled up and down, a slow-motion fashion show on wheels, Chevy Blazers, Acura Legends, Nissan Maximas, the newest Benz and BMWs with rims gleaming under the streetlights, music thumping LL Cool J, Salt and Pepper, Big Daddy Kane, and of course, Go-Go. People sat on rooftops. Older folks posted up in folding chairs with coolers full of Heineken and Colt 45. Teenagers leaned on payphones trying to flex. Street vendors hustled Howard sweatshirts, bootleg tapes, oils, and fresh fish sandwiches right off the grill. This wasn't just partying, it was pride, it was identity. During Howard Homecoming, none of that could dim the light. The whole city paused to celebrate blackness in its fullest, in education, fashion, music, intellect, and rebellion. Alumni like Felicia Rashad or her sister Debbie Allen might walk past you on the yard. Jesse Jackson might speak on the steps of the Crampton Auditorium, Spike Lee hats and Malcolm X tees. It was political without trying. Howard isn't just a school, it's a cornerstone of black intellectual and cultural life. It produced the likes of Thurgood Marshall, Toni Morrison, Chadwick Boseman, Debbie Allen, and her sister Felicia Rashad, who became dean in 2021. When people gather for homecoming, they're walking on the same grounds, sharing the same traditions, and even the city, often reshaped and displaced by development, reclaims a bit of its soul during this weekend. Longtime residents feel seen. The 1990s cemented Howard Homecoming as a cultural institution. It was during this golden era that the event transformed into the place to be for celebrities, politicians, and the biggest names in music, whether they were Howard alumni or just drawn to the magic of the Mecca.
At the Reeves Center tomorrow night, play Smalls, Puff Daddy at the Reeves Center. You know what I'm saying? I used to go to Howard, I went to school with them niggas, word up. Come on. Hey yo, band, can we get a little bit of one more chance at it? We got a party at the Reeves Center tomorrow. Everybody throw your hands in the air.
The Yard, the steps of Douglas Hall, and the streets of DC became a live mixtape of hip-hop, R&B, and unapologetic black pride. Before the world knew him as Diddy, a young Sean Puff Daddy Combs attended Howard, where he got his start in promoting parties. The notorious B.I.G. attended and performed at numerous homecomings and rapped about it. Nas speaks about how he introduced Tupac to drinking Hennessy at Howard Homecoming in the early 90s.
I remember I put Tupac on to that Henny, Howard University, Howard Homecoming, DC. He's like, what's this? He drank that shit though. Word.
Many rap artists and singers have experienced the Mecca performing, clubbing, or just hanging out.
Here at the DC Armory, we chillin'. Howard's Homecoming with Fat Joe. He was just up there rocking the mic. You wanna tell us what you was doing up there?
Doing our thing, know what I'm saying? We came down to rip it, represent, know what I'm saying?
You got busy, You wanna introduce your boys to everybody?
Yeah, I'm gonna let them introduce themselves.
My name is Bob, THC Crew, Graffiti TS.
Hi, DJ Serious in the house.
Yo, what's up, Full Flex with a fully loaded tech?
Right, Common, did you want to tell us about what you're working on right now? What your new single is?
Well, right now I'm working on an album. My new single was Sold by the Pound. It was the third release off the album. Right now I'm doing my album, working with No ID, the Beat Nuts, and my man Why Not. I'm just doing that. That's it.
The 90s also saw the rise of Howard students and alumni who would later become stars. Before she became a household name, DC's own Taraji P. Henson was a theater major catching performances on the Yard. Every Howard University homecoming seems to gravitate toward that iconic McDonald's just off Georgia Avenue, a true late-night hub for Bison and friends after all the official parties wind down. The scene is electric. Squads of students, alumni, the city locals, and off-campus visitors flow in and out, grabbing fries and burgers while swapping stories about Yard Fest, step shows, and football. A classic 90s energy still lingers in the air, folks laughing, bumping music, hanging out in the parking lot, and soaking in the nostalgia of homecoming tradition. So much wild shit happened in and around that McDonald's, it became practically a city institution, the hub for Howard memories, especially during big weekends, capturing why it remains a candid communal gathering spot when the celebration makes its way off campus.
This shit is slimy! Get it started, shit!
Nighttime hit different. Slim, the real ones knew where to be. You might catch Rare Essence or Backyard at the Black Hole, the Ibex, or Club U on U Street, where the line wrapped around the corner and didn't even matter because you were there. Sweat poured from the walls. The floor shook with every beat, and the crowd moved as one. If go-go wasn't your thing, there was Republic Gardens, DC's Black Elite Lounge, where the drinks were strong, the conversation sharper, and everyone was either in grad school, a hustler in the streets, or a group of females just trying to have a good time. Meanwhile, underground spots like Kilimanjaro or Clubhouse catered to a crowd that danced until sunrise, before heading straight to the Pancake House or an after-hours spot in the city where the grits were hot and the gossip was hotter.
Oh shit, niggas got guns. Oh shit, Dexter Jackson and them in trouble. Go Wayne, go.
This was also a period of time where DC was the murder capital and drama could pop off anytime, anywhere. During homecoming weekends, reported incidents in the surrounding Shaw and U Street neighborhoods, such as late-night robberies and gunfire near campus. One instance involved a triple shooting just off campus in the early hours. 3 people were wounded, including 2 women, which rattled the student community, even though the connection to homecoming events wasn't confirmed.
Tonight, D.C. police are investigating a triple shooting near Howard University. The violence erupted early this morning. Luckily, all 3 victims are expected to survive. This all unfolding during the school's homecoming weekend. Fox 5's David Kaplan is live for us tonight where the shooting happened. David, what details have you been able to gather so far?
Yeah, Sierra, good evening to you. We are told this shooting happened just before 2 o'clock. We're at the intersection of 8th Street and Berry Place here near the Howard University campus in the Shaw area. Just to kind of give you some insights on where we are, that is Georgia Avenue. As you know, Howard University is on both sides of Georgia Avenue. So we are west here on 8th Street.
Right here. What's the girl standing in the grill? How y'all doing? It's too dark right here. I'm telling you.
I know people come up.
How y'all doing?
The homecoming football games in the 1990s were more than just athletic events. They were electrifying cultural celebrations that brought together students, alumni, celebrities, and the wider DC community. The weekend was packed with energy, but Saturday's game at William H. Green Stadium was the centerpiece. Marching bands like Howard's Showtime dazzled crowds with elaborate halftime shows, while fraternities and sororities stepped and strolled across campus in vibrant displays of school pride. The stands overflowed with fans dressed in bison blue, and tailgates stretched for blocks, pulsing with go-go music, barbecues, and reunions. In 1989, the stadium saw a record crowd of over 30,000, including high-profile attendees like filmmaker Spike Lee, signaling how influential the event had become. Whether the Bison won or lost, the celebration continued long after the final whistle, reflecting the era's strong HBCU pride and a deep sense of cultural and academic legacy that defined Howard's homecomings throughout the decade.
No Brown. Oh, thank you.
Homecoming continued to be lit in the late 90s into the 2000s. It was still legendary cultural moments, blending tradition, black excellence, and the energy of hip-hop's golden era. Still known as one of the premier HBCU homecomings, it drew thousands of people to DC every fall. Yard Fest remained legend with its concerts and celebrations that featured rising stars and major artists like Jayz, Missy Elliott, and others as they reached global superstardom. The campus buzzed with step shows, fashion shows, parades, and parties that lasted all night into the early morning. It wasn't just a college event, it was still a cultural event that reflected the evolving identity of Black America, mixing education, entertainment, and empowerment in one unforgettable weekend. The essence of Black history.
one and only HU, not an institute, not by the water, just straight up Northwest DC, Howard University. Look at this right here.
Sunday night slowed things down. Most were tired but still hanging on. Some went to church at Rankin Chapel. Others wandered Georgia Avenue one last time, grabbing chicken wings soaked in mumbo sauce from Wings and Things before the ride back to Jersey, Detroit, or North Carolina. No one wanted it to end, because Howard Homecoming was more than a college event. It was a sanctuary in a party city that was constantly evolving, a place where you could be brilliant, beautiful, and black without explanation.